Hello and welcome to Two Wheel Lifestyle. Today I'm going to be doing some service on my 2013 BMW F700GS. All this will apply also to the F650GS twin models and the F800GS models. I'm going to be changing the battery, changing the air filter, and changing the spark plugs. Why would I be doing all of this? Why not just take it to the dealer and have him do the work? The bike's still under warranty. Well, because I think with the money I save, I'm going to do something else. I might take a vacation to Hawaii, buy a Ferrari, or take over a small third world country with the amount of money that I would save by not paying the dealer to do this work. So, let's get started. So these are some of the parts I'm using that are specific to this job. I've got myself a new battery. Now this is a very small battery, you may notice. It's a lithium iron phosphate chemistry. That's different from lithium ion, and that's what it looks like says LiFePO4. Actually, lithium ferrous phosphate is what that is all about, and it's up to the task of being a motorcycle battery. This has circuitry in it that allows it to act like a lead-acid battery, so you can charge it with your regular lead-acid charging. The bike charges it fine. They're lighter and have a longer life cycle than lead-acid. I've got two spark plugs. These are exactly per the OEM spec. I've got a new air filter. This is a K&N. It's washable and reusable and good for up to 1 million miles, they say. There's a little controversy around them. They give more airflow. Some people think that also means they allow in more particles. After reading up on it, I don't think that's true, but you know, that's your opinion. Get whatever air filter you're comfortable with. This is a specialty tool from a company called Marc Parnes that we'll be using to remove the spark plug wires without breaking them, which is very important. This is a spark plug socket, narrow wall spark plug socket that we will need in order to reach in and pull out and install the new plugs. And this I'm not using, but I want to show it. This is another Marc Parnes tool. It's a beautiful NC machined, affordable NC machined oil filter wrench. So we have to remove the body panels and get to all the parts we need to work on. So let's start by removing this black piece of plastic that covers everything, and we'll begin by removing these bolts right in here. There's one on each side. And then the 4 bolts that hold down the top body panel. Careful to keep track of the bolts and all of the specialty hardware that comes on each of them, and organize them and then set them off to the side, of course, as you always do when you work on your bike, right? There is wiring to the power outlet. You'll have to remove the clip for that. This is done by squeezing the connector together and pulling out. This exposes the battery somewhat. I'm going to continue to take apart the bike and get to the air filter and the spark plug access. Next, we're going to remove the bolts that hold the side panel on. They're located here, here, there's one on the bottom.
And 2 bolts under the windscreen fairing and 1 bolt in the beak.
Remove the turn signal wire by lifting up on the connector and pulling it apart. Next, remove the battery harness and the battery. Next, remove the 4 airbox bolts located here, 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 and here. And then remove the airbox. That will reveal the air filter, which just comes right out. Oh, mine's caught some bugs. Yeah, and it's done a good job for 24,000 miles. It's caught a lot of junk. I'm not getting into details of zip ties. There is occasional zip tie you've got to cut. Should have some zip ties on hand to replace them with afterward. Remove all of the wiring harnesses and hose connectors. I'm going to leave one set of hoses connected to the housing and just move it off to the side. This gives us full access to the spark plugs. The spark plug wires can be removed by lifting up on the clip and pulling back on the connector. This is where the spark plug cap removal tool comes into play. I'm going to install it over the cap, and it will seat. There's a groove around here. Matches up with a groove with a lip on the top. There's also an opening in the back here to match up with a slot on the back. And it'll all just kind of neatly pop into place. If you've got an easy one, it removes as easily as this. This was not an easy one. And this one this was a very difficult one. If you have one that's a little more difficult to remove, this has a slot for a screwdriver or something similar like I have here to go through and give you a little more leverage to pull it out with. That's what having the right tool is all about. Now it's time to remove the old spark plugs. Do this with a proper spark plug tool, a thin wall spark plug tool, one that looks like this. Will do the job, and a long extension such as I have here. And firmly but carefully extract the old spark plugs. So from here on out, everything is pretty much the same thing in reverse. There is going to be some differences with the battery installation. So I'm going to work on that and document just the things that are different as we put this back together. Under here is the new air filter, which is sort of an undramatic installation. No need to cover that. You just drop it in and put everything back together. This, however, takes a little bit of work. This is the new battery, the lithium iron phosphate battery I talked about before. It's so much smaller than the stock battery. What they do is they provide you with some of these foam pads with a sticky back, sticky on one side, so that you can create whatever sort of padding you need to fill the gap that's left when you install the new battery. It's under 2 pounds. The stock battery goes over the limit of my scale. It's probably like 10 pounds. And given the way it sits in the bike, it takes a lot of weight off the top of the bike. So if it does the job, I'll be very excited. So there it is, all buttoned into the bike and installed. With all of my crazy aftermarket wiring sticking out all over the place, I've still got to tidy that up. But I want to cut to the chase and see if this baby really has the cranking amps. Fires up, everything's looking good. I got to reset the clock. Let's see if she starts. Not a problem. Well, there she is, all buttoned up, except that now inside she's got a battery that's probably a good 8 or 10 pounds lighter, K&N high-performance air filter, and some new Iridium spark plugs. Ooh, we'll see how they all go in the long run. I'm particularly interested in seeing how the battery holds up, and if anybody's interested, I can even do a follow-up on that. And the work didn't go too bad. I've just got these 2 bolts here that not sure where they go, but I'm going to keep them around because they're probably important. But everything seems okay. Anyhow, until next time, I will see you all out there on 2 wheels. Today I'm going to be doing a walk-around / review of the BMW F700GS. The topic is how to handle a tall bike.